Yo, what is up guys, Marvin here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back in this new video. Today man, we back after 4 months. We back on the channel, we back on the videos. I'm still training, I'm still looking good. If you don't know it, I'm a med student, so I have a lot to study, a lot of exams to do, so I had a few things to do, but now we back, and today's video, bro, I got a plan because it's pretty complex video. It's gonna be about height, how to get tall. This video is really helpful and useful if you're a teenager, if you're a kid, if you want that your kid becomes tall. But like if you're an adult, if you're over 16, if you're a female, or over 21, if you're a man, these things don't apply to you. The only way you can increase your height is with basically a bone surgery where they chop off your legs. Basically, you can just sleep better at night, and that's going to increase your height by a few centimeters. In our spine, we have those discs that prevent the bones to rub against each other. They kind of lubricate it. Those things, they fill up with water when we sleep. So if you sleep better, you're gonna be taller in the morning, and that's usually 1-2 centimeters for normal people. That's the reason why when you get old, you kind of shrink, because those things kind of reduce in size. Let's start with saying a little bit about what determines your height. Obviously genetics are involved, but we have genetics and we have environment. I would say for 90% of people, genetics, it's around 40% of what determines your height. 60% is your environment, what you eat. We're gonna talk a lot about nutrition today, lifestyle, okay? For the genetic part, obviously, if your parents are really short, the possibilities that you're gonna be high are not that big, but if your parents are really tall, you're gonna become tall. But it's not always like that, because if you don't have sufficient nutrition, even if your parents are super tall, you're gonna basically become short. That's how it works, okay? So genetics, they could possibly tell you your max height. Like I could analyze your genetics and tell you could become maximum that height, but it's not guaranteed that you're gonna reach it, because there are other factors involved. Age determines your height. For a female, after you get your first cycle, menstruation, that's when your growth stops, because estrogen basically blocks bone growth. The bone tissue becomes crystallized, and you have basically adult bones, and they don't grow. In men, we could say you grow until 21. That's what they say, but I would say it stops at 18. I would say that's the most cases. Now, the other factors involved in your height are going to be genetics, nutrition, sleep, stress, and hormones. All those things play a role. We're going to be talking about nutrition first. Growth is a process, it's an anabolic process, so it requires energy. You actually need the energy to be put in the cells so that they can basically duplicate, and you could actually become bigger. That's going to require energy. So first thing first, to grow tall, you gotta eat enough energy wise. So enough carbohydrates, enough fats, enough proteins, but carbs and fats for the energy. The other thing is gonna be the blocks to build protein. So growth, you could tell we're basically 70% water, but basically the other 30% is basically protein, a little bit of minerals for our bones. The maximum thing that improves growth is animal protein. I don't care what you say, you're pro-vegan, you're a vegetarian, whatever. The best thing to make you grow is meat, fish, eggs, all that stuff. When you're little, they tell you eat your veggies, vegetables. That shit is useless in terms of how tall you're gonna get, because basically vegetables, they're 90% water, and they have really few traces of vitamins and minerals, but they're really extremely low in protein, fat, and carbs. This is the case on why we can see in the recent years people are getting taller and taller and taller, because I don't know if meat is getting cheaper or people are just have more money, but I would say the second case, because after World War II, people didn't have the money to buy the meat, so obviously low protein intake, you would remain short. Newer generation, they're eating meat, eggs, fish, all the good stuff, and they're actually becoming really tall. But you see nowadays, a lot of people are not that tall actually. A lot of young guys, they're short because of this, vegan, vegetarian propaganda where maybe parents, they just say meat is bad. I'm not gonna give meat to my kid. So the kid just remains short. I mean, if you don't have the protein, you could eat enough energy, so carb-wise, but if you don't have the blocks to actually build your body, you're gonna remain short. Now, how tall you get, it's not only about protein, it's about the mineral content in your diet, and that is really about your bones, So bones, they basically made out of calcium and phosphorus, so you're gonna need those. Milk products, milk, great source of calcium. We have other sources, but I can't tell you right now. But again, to produce bone, you need the mineral. You don't have the mineral, the bone doesn't grow. So that's the thing I always say. Your parents could be tall, like you could have that good genetic, but if you don't introduce enough minerals to build actually bone, you're going to remain short. Or the other thing, we absorb calcium through a receptor that gets expressed when we have enough vitamin D. So if you don't get enough vitamin D when you're a kid, first thing, your bone's going to be fucked up. Like you're going to be all crooked and shit, like you're gonna look weird, bro. Like you're gonna be looking all kind of weak, really skinny. Not a good thing. It's actually a disease, rickets. So now we talked about the nutrition part. We know that now that protein, minerals, and the energy, those are three things required to make you grow, and water, of course. But what tells your cells to do something? It's the hormones. Here's why there's certain things you can do to boost your growth during your teen years or also when you're a child. This is the thing. You eat enough protein, enough minerals, you need enough food, but if a specific hormone doesn't get to your cells and tells them to grow, they don't grow, they don't duplicate. So for bone specifically, the most two important hormones are GH, human growth hormone, and thyroid hormones. And here's the thing, thyroid hormones, they actually stimulate your bone to grow, but they basically get synthesized using an amino acid, so you're gonna get that from proteic food. But the other thing is iodine. It's a trace element. We need it really low amounts, but if you don't have it, you're not gonna develop thyroid hormones and you're gonna remain short. So best thing to do, sea salt with iodine and sea fish. So fish, shellfish, and crawfish, or all that type of stuff, GH wise, on my channel I have a video only about that, on how to boost your growth hormone, also in adults. So growth hormone, it makes your muscle grow. If you're an adult and you want to become bigger, that's another great thing to do, is to adopt a lifestyle that actually boosts your growth hormone. But now let's talking to a kid, teen. How does he do that? Sleep. A kid must sleep a lot. That's why maybe poor kids, they remain short. Not only because obviously they don't have the money to afford great nutrition, they also have, in a stressed environment, they don't sleep that well. That's another thing that really destroys you. The other thing is cortisol, obviously, really high stress levels. They're not gonna make you grow. It's obviously a catabolic hormone, so it's gonna destroy down your tissues. Sleep is also important because imagine this. A bone that needs to grow, when you're standing, it needs to go against gravity. So it makes sense that it grows more when you're sleeping. So you're laying horizontally and the bone can basically grow better. Now don't underestimate this. Great sleep is the best thing to do because it balances out a lot of hormones. It's just great, man. It's super, super great. The other thing that makes you grow, the other thing that releases growth hormone, it's actually sports, you know, running, doing stuff. That thing releases growth hormone. That is why, you know, when someone is saying if you play basketball you become tall, obviously it's capped because it's not that specific sport is making you taller, but it has a ground of truth because sports in general makes you taller. Now all those things I'm saying, I'm 187 myself, so it's gonna be 6'1", 6'2", I have no idea. And I did all those things when I was little. My parents, they are shorter than me. I'm way higher than them. So the genetic part, it was probably there, but you know, you can tell it's basically my lifestyle that made me so high. I had great nutrition. My parents really wanted me to eat good and always made sure I ate best food. I slept really well and I always did sports. So what can I say? I lived in front of the sea, so I had lots of sun, lots of vitamin D, and basically a lot of iodine. You know, I ate fish and all other stuff. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this new video. I'm gonna bring a lot of new videos because my knowledge has increased, so I have a lot of new things to, you know, bring to you guys. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to, you know, focus on a determined part of my video, I will happily reply to your comments. And see you guys in the next one. So to end the videos, oh, first of all, I want to show you, I'm not capping, you know, 187, I can even be in the video all myself, that's how tall I am, and I'm a mountain, bro. So for a laugh, let's say what you should do if you want to become short. Don't sleep, stay always close, never get sunlight, don't eat protein, don't eat minerals, drink low amounts of water, and just be as stressed as possible. Don't do sports and have fucked up genetics. If you do all those 8 things, bro, I'm sorry for you, but you're gonna remain like so short. Like they're gonna use you for the next film of Snow White. Okay, so that's what you shouldn't do.